Network Extra is proud to bring you ACC Men's College Soccer from Dail Soccer Stadium in Raleigh. It's the #1 North Carolina Tar Heels in town to take on the NC State Wolfpack. And hello everybody, I'm Dean Linke. Always great to be with the beautiful man, John Bouye. And John, a beautiful night for a big-time game.
Well, it certainly is, and what a great atmosphere that NC State has built here. And I'll tell you what, Dean, it is going to be a beautiful game tonight.
You know it. They play beautiful soccer. North Carolina led by their big three.
Yeah, and we're going to call that big three a three-headed monster. We're going to start with the German, Niels Brunning, a talented player. He's hurt his knee about a year ago, but he's back to scoring goals for UNC. And then their number 9 at the top, they call him Gio or Giovanni. He scored 5 goals for the Tar Heels already. And let's not forget about their defensive midfielder, Mauricio Pineda, a talented player, and he leads the team in assisting.
All right, NC State's big three is all about flair, all about pizzazz.
Well, so much flair and so much pizzazz on this team. You start with Gabriel Machado, the goal scorer. He has 4 goals for NC State already. On the other side, you have Manny Perez. He brings so much to the table for the Wolfpack attack. But I think the key tonight is the little magician in the middle of the park, David Loera. If he can pull some strings tonight, Dean, this NC State might be able to pull off a defeat.
Well, the last time NC State beat North Carolina in Raleigh was 1997. They're going to try to change it tonight and knock off the #1 team. It's the Wolfpack and the Tar Heels coming up next on ACC Network Extra. Beautiful night for soccer here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Dail Soccer Stadium. Perhaps they may even set an attendance record as we get you set for #1 North Carolina and the NC State Wolfpack. Dean Linke along with John Bouye as we take a look at the Tar Heel starting lineup for Carlos Samuano.
Yeah, and some talented players, as we mentioned in the beginning, just from all the way back. James Pyle in goal. He's done a fantastic job for the Tar Heels so far, but we talked about the three-headed monster. Gio, of course, Mauricio Pineda. He's going to have his hands full with David Loera tonight, and, of course, Niels Brunning.
All right, that's the starting lineup for the Tar Heels. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for George Kiefer and NC State.
Yeah, and just another talented lineup. Of course, we talked about the little magician, David Loera, but so many other talented pieces. The back four, Blanco, Norris, Schnoili, and Garcia. Of course, Tanner Roberts has had a great time since he's come back from that injury as he tore his ACL, and he's gotten 3 game-winning goals so far, Dean.
All right, here we go. NC State in their home reds. The Tar Heels in white, Carolina blue and white. There's the magician that John Bouye told you about, David Loera. First 300 students that got here got a t-shirt from NC State, and we're underway. Delighted to have you on ACC Network Extra as they play it forward to Roberts. One in the midfield, of course, A.J. Seals, the freshman from Orlando, finally in there, the much heralded recruit for George Kiefer, who has had that solid pipeline down to the Tampa, Orlando area. Here we go, John. Gonna be a good one.
Yes, it certainly is. Of course, we talk about talented players in NC State as well, and you can't forget the work that Brad Sweeney has done so far in the midfield for NC State. He has been a rock back there.
Played forward to the speedy Peters. Peters trying to keep it alive. And out of bounds off of North Carolina will come back to NC State. So we told you that the last time the Heels lost on the away side against NC State was 1997, a 3-1 defeat. Now since that loss, the Heels and the Wolfpack have played 25 times, with the Heels going 19-2-4. Both losses coming in Chapel Hill. Here comes David Loera. Machado. And now Loera is going to switch it to Blatko. Blatko's got Manny Perez in front of him. They'll go up to Roberts. Roberts going to try to play with it. He's pushed to the ground, and the referee says, no, I'm not going to award that right there, so no whistle.
And good work from Tanner Roberts there, just playing with his back to the goal. That ball played in by Blanco. He did a good job of testing it down, and good control there from Roberts. No call on the foul.
North Carolina playing a 3-4-3. NC State playing a 4-4-2. And of course, Carlos Samuano took over in 2011 when Elmar Bolovich left, and all he did was win a national championship in his very first year.
Yeah, two fantastic coaches going against each other tonight, head-to-head here at NC State. And I'll tell you what, Dean, you're already seeing NC State just in the middle of the field, knowing that pressure is going to come early. They're playing that good one-touch soccer through.
Just a couple minutes in, the Red Tears, the student fan base for NC State. They got both goals full, and that is part, as we said earlier, if you watch this cover NC State, Debbie Yao was at Maryland, Sasho Sorosky built that great atmosphere at Ludwig Field, part of the crew, and George Kiefer doing that now for NC State. North Carolina will play it back.
Well, even Coach Carlos Samuano talked about one of the keys to his game was to manage the emotions and to take this NC State crowd out of the game, because he knows how important they are.
Jelani Peters coming all the way back to get a touch on it. It'll go out of bounds. Starting again for the North Carolina Tar Heels is Milo Garbanyan as they try to find Perez. There's Jeremy Kelly. Jeremy Kelly from Chapel Hill. Played actually for North Carolina FC, the full team. Actually played in games, started games back when North Carolina FC was in the then named NASL. Pineda.
And you can already see Loera trying to hook up with Perez, play that ball over the top of the defense as Manny Perez cuts in.
Pepe Garcia will head it away. It'll be a throw in for the Tar Heels. And Niels Bruning, the junior from Hamburg, Germany, missed all of last season with a knee injury, has played all season long for the Tar Heels. After sitting out all of last year, he was the leading returning goal scorer going into last year, then missed it. North Carolina still made it back to the Final Four for the second straight year. Back-to-back college cups. Garbanyan, it'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina.
And you like to see what UNC was doing there, just spreading out the field, looking for Garbanyan on the other side, just looking to get something going inside the 18.
So corner kick for the Tar Heels. Garbanyan over the ball. Milo Garbanyan. Garbanyan spinning in. Top of the 18. Pushed off the ball there was Aguilera. And NC State, Manny Perez going the other way. It's Machado. David Loera is open. He'll try to make that pass across the field and can't do it, John.
Yeah, it almost looked like Manny Perez there switched positions with David Loera. He played in the middle of the park, sent Loera on the outside, but just not a good enough ball to get to Loera.
George Kiefer's NC State Wolfpack come in 7-3-2, 5-0-2 here at the friendly confines of Dail Soccer Stadium. We'll keep you posted in the second half on the potential of a attendance record here for NC State. Nelson, number 5. Now it's over to Salas. And out of bounds for NC State.
You like to see UNC very composed at the back, playing the ball out of the back. That gives the opportunity for the midfield to really work and find Gio and everyone else up front.
George Kiefer going for his 16th win in just a season and a half at NC State. Put the team in the College Cup in his first, or in the NCAA tournament rather, in his first season a year ago. And as we mentioned, looking for NC State's 6th home win of the season. Pineda back to Nelson. Nelson, a sophomore from Medina, Ohio. Kelly gets rid of it to Pineda. And they try to spring it long for Garvagnon. And it'll be out of bounds back to NC State.
Yeah, and that was a great idea from Pineda, just really trying to get that ball and play it early down the lines of Garvagnon, just a little bit too far in front of him.
North Carolina, #1 in the country, although you could say that they may go down just a little bit. Their last game, a tie at Old Dominion, and that came after the rankings were released. That was on Tuesday night. They're 9-1-1.
And Carolina really using the width of the field right now, Dean, spread out on both sides.
It's the Tar Heels and NC State. It'll be a throw in for North Carolina. Throw in North Carolina. Long throw, good flick, and picked up by Kropp.
There you see that long throw from Jelani Peters, really just trying to get ahead on one of the Tar Heel players, but Kropp picks it right up.
One bounce, little flick, David Loera. It's going to be a great environment. Play it to Peters. Peters plays it back. Machado was hoping to pounce, but Brunig, so calm, will bring it back to Salas. Now Kamsia. Kamsia on the preseason Mac Herman Trophy watch list.
And you love what...
Taken away here by NC State. David Loera's got Manny Perez on one side and knocked away by Mauricio Pineda.
And Mauricio Pineda doing his job so far against David Loera, putting the pressure on him, making him miss.
Loera stays with it. Machado. NC State going to take their time as A.J. Seals settles things down. Brisma on the bench, not starting, as Seals will shore up that midfield. Nelson's going to knock that one out of bounds. It'll stay with Manny Perez, putting pressure on that back line for the Wolfpack.
Pressure from both teams on the back four, and it's starting to pay off on the NC State side here. Manny Perez just needs to get a little bit deeper against that back four.
Perez taking the throw in from Blotko, trying to turn, knock out of bounds again, and it'll stay with NC State. Beautiful night this after Hurricane Matthew came rushing through. The beautiful man and myself without power still, and somehow the beautiful man still stays beautiful.
I don't know about that one, Dean.
Great night for soccer, though, my man, right?
It certainly is. And look at the high pressure from UNC. As soon as the back four get it, they're putting them under a lot of pressure there, just waiting for a mistake to happen.
Pineda. Pineda, part of that three-headed monster that John Bouye broke down. Open! Kropp with the first save. Wide open, though, for North Carolina was Milo Garvagnon, ready to pounce.
Well, and Milo's going to want that one back. He just side-footed it, and it wound up heading right in the breadbasket there of Kropp. But a great opportunity. You see how quick UNC can pounce on that counterattack and take advantage of a mistake in the defense there by NC State.
Pineda. Boy, does he command the space out there wearing that number 2 jersey or what for North Carolina?
He certainly does, and I'm sure his assignment is a big deal in part tonight to make sure that David Loera does not get loose.
Whistle. It'll come back to North Carolina. Throw in North Carolina. Jelani Peters sent across, looking for Garbagnan again. Pineda will clear it up. David Loera putting some pressure on Kamsia.
And UNC really putting pressure on the back four of NC State. A lot of runs coming in off the 18, and just some good work there by David Norris to head that out.
Peters and Schnoily defensively. Now it's Pepe Garcia. David Loera. He is fouled. It'll stay with NC State.
Now you can see it there, Dean. Look how much this game means to him. He is so passionate about this game and this team and the wins.
The player down is number 28, Raul Aguilera, tied for first on the team in assists.
Yeah, and he instantly signaled for the bench to come over, and this does not look good for Aguilera.
So number 28, Aguilera, down at the moment for North Carolina.
And it's just good to see Aguilera get up and kind of make his way off the field. He looked like he was in a lot of pain there. Once again, David Loera pulling the strings for NC State, not willing to give up or let go of that ball.
So Mark Salas is already in there. His brother Martin Salas, the senior from Dallas, Texas, is going to come in. All right, so Aguilera, look at the crowd here. Amazing. And it's going to get even more rowdy here tonight, I think, John Bouye. Fantastic crowd.
Yeah, it really is a fantastic crowd. Of course, it's a red out tonight. And, boy, the stands are nothing but red in this place, sprinkled with a little bit of Carolina blue here and there.
Norris looking for Perez. Kamsia. And it'll be knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for NC State. John, better start for NC State as Loera pushed off the ball by Pineda. How about that battle between Pineda and Loera all game long?
Yeah, we're going to be watching that all night long, but you just see UNC just is pushing NC State off the ball pretty easily there. You saw that win in the midfield right there, and they get forward so quickly. The back four have got to be careful of that ball played over the top.
Here's Jeremy Kelly. Went to high school at Cardinal Gibbons High School, not that far away from here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Salas to Salas and taken away. Loera is going to pounce. We'll have to keep an eye on the fact that Aguilera now out of the game for North Carolina. And John, the Wolfpack chant starting to get going here at Dail Soccer Stadium.
And it's really going to be a question of how can NC State handle the pressure in the back four. UNC playing really high pressure on that back four. They've already made a couple of mistakes. See if they can capitalize on that.
Perez. Kelly steps in, bumped off the ball there. Referee saying play on. Here's Machado. Machado, part of that flair and pizzazz we told you about to start the game.
Well, we know with Machado, if you get a little bit of space on the top of the 18, he's going to let loose, and even a free kick opportunity. He had so many great chances and so many great goals this year for the Wolfpack.
Loera. Once again, it's Pineda winning that battle. And every time he does, you hear a good job, Mauricio, right in front of us. Milo into Pineda. Kropp is over there, and he'll rip it right off of the foot of Pineda.
But how about Pineda, as you just mentioned, in the middle of the field for UNC, just plays a beautiful pass to Garvanian on the outside and then just follows the give and go right through, but Kropp was able to pick it up.
North Carolina 9-1-1, 4-0-0 in the ACC, coming off that 1-1 tie against ODU. Their only loss early in the season to the Indiana Hoosiers in overtime. A game where they outshot the #2 team in the country.
Yeah, always a tough game going up to Indiana, but look at Nelson there. He knows that Perez is trying to get around him there. Loera trying to play the ball over the top. UNC has studied this team, and they know what's going to happen.
Kamsia. Nelson scored a goal in his very first game as a Tar Heel, playing more of an attacking role. Last year they moved him to the back, and he has been outstanding as part of that three-back formation. Salas, Kamsia, Nelson. They stay three in the back with Pineda, who started last year in the back, moved to holding mid, and what a move that's been for Carlos Samuano's Tar Heels.
And they talk about how important that position is on the field because it's a two-way position. You not only play on the defensive side of the ball, but you can also strike up the offense, and we've seen that so far from Pineda.
Nelson goes around Perez, knocked out of bounds there by Blotko. It'll be a throw in North Carolina.
Really trying to set Garvanian fourth here on the outside. And don't forget, even on the other side, Jelani Peters is pretty quick down the line for UNC.
Bruning. Salas and Salas, both of them in there now for the Tar Heels. Long ball looking for Bruning, the little man Pepe Garcia, and Bruning wins it back. So Mark Salas wearing number 27, Martin Salas, who's now appeared in his 7th game. Of course, his brother Mark Salas has started every game in that back line for Carlos Samuano.
And I know I've said it before, but just so composed in the back line for UNC. They're not afraid to play the ball back. If it's not on going forward, they'll play it back and restart and play it again through Pineda.
North Carolina's been a fantastic first half team. They've outscored their opposition 9-2 in the first half. And they have been very good in tight matchups, right? They beat East Tennessee State 1-0. They beat Pittsburgh 2-1. Davidson 1-0. Notre Dame 1-0. Clemson 2-0. UNCW 1-0. They beat Virginia Tech by a goal. So you get them in tight games and they deliver.
Yeah, and I think that also goes down to the fact that once they score, they know how to batten down the hatches and really make sure that nothing comes the other way.
Kelly. Nelson. Pineda. Peters. Kelly, good ball. Milo driving in and taken away there by NC State. David Loera. It'll go out of bounds and stay with NC State.
You got to love that. The minute Loera gets the ball, 2-3 white jerseys just continue to just get right on top of him and not allow him those quick first touches that he's so used to.
Roberts. NC State. Norris over to Schnoily. Now Garcia. Good job of switching the point of attack here for the Wolfpack. Stepping right in there, though, was Salas. Here's Pineda. He'll play it forward as Giovanni Montez Dioco, wearing that number 10 jersey, has been very good for North Carolina, who, of course, lost Zach Wright from a year ago. And Schnorley again steps in there. Loera. Scott Perez on the right side.
And great job from Pineda to just close off that space by Loera. And Manny Perez on the outside couldn't get to the ball, suffocate him as well.
It'll go off of Kelly and be a throw-in for NC State. Norris. Wonderful night for Friday night under the lights. Dail Soccer Stadium, Raleigh, North Carolina. The #1 Tar Heels and NC State Wolfpack. Alongside John Bouye, I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you on ACC Network Extra. Midway through the first half, still no score. Machado can deal, but not on frame. Machado gets the deflection. Corner kick NC State.
Well, we talked about the three-headed monster, and David Loera got that first touch. The ball was played so where he could push it in front of him, laid it into the path of Machado. We've seen what happens when that happened before. Machado got a deflection, a corner kick here for NC State.
Machado over the ball and ready. The Red Tears making some noise behind the goal. Pio in goal for North Carolina, directing traffic. A little bit of a push there on Norris, no call, and it'll come right back to the Tar Heels and James Pio, the senior from Charlotte.
Well, and so far, Pineda has really kept NC State in the midfield and Loera at bay, but right there, Loera got just a little bit of space in there, and you can see how quickly NC State can come on the counterattack.
NC State not afraid of the big boys. They've earned positive results in 6 matches against foes, ranked within the top 14 in the last 2 seasons. Last year they beat number 3 Clemson, number 10 Virginia, number 5 Louisville. This year they beat number 4 Akron, number 14 Virginia Tech, and should have beat number 6 Louisville in a game we called.
Yeah, what a fantastic game that was. You really thought NC State was going to get on the winning end of that one, but it just wasn't to be at the end.
Montez Dioco back over to Pineda. Pineda, a rare turnover, one out of the back by NC State. Machado will drop it, and now Loera's on it. Loera and Perez not on the same page that time. And Nelson will come back to Pio. Heavy pressure from Perez. This ball's important right here. One by Loera, he'll run right into Kelly.
Good work there from Blotko, not letting Garvanian really just turn on that ball, putting high pressure on him and getting the throw in.
Seals. Pepe Garcia, tough for him to handle. It'll roll out of bounds and come back to Salas and the Tar Heels. Midway through the first half, John, your thoughts? Both teams representing themselves pretty well so far.
Yeah, both teams, some good opportunities. I just really like what UNC is doing, spreading out the field. They've really utilized Milo Garvanian on this left-hand side, just trying to get that ball down to him. But Gio will get his opportunities. For NC State, David Loera's really got to keep taking that ball at the back 4 of UNC and try to unlock Manny Perez behind the defender.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Milo Garvanian up top, wearing that number 32 jersey. Trying to find Machado. Salas to Pineda. Pineda. He's got Jelani Peters on one side. Pineda will earn the foul and the whistle. And while they do that, take a look at the coaching staffs for both teams. We'll start with NC State. George Kiefer, as we told you, in his 2nd season. Now his assistant coach, Jeff Nagalia, 2nd season at NC State. spent a lot of time on the bench for the Tar Heels, first with Elmar Bolovich and then with Carlos Samuano. Went down to Florida, worked with Orlando City, and is now back. There's the coaching staff for North Carolina. We were talking NC State, but that's Carlos Samuano along with Grant Porter. And driven in by the Tar Heels. Norris. Montez Diaco will earn a throw-in for the Tar Heels.
Well, that was a critical touch from Norris because Jelani Peters was waiting in the wings if that gets through to him alone on crop.
Peters has a great throw-in, so he'll take the time to go over and toss one in here. Absolutely fantastic crowd at Dail Soccer Stadium. That will be part of the theme tonight. A beautiful night for soccer. Peters with the long throw. Garvanyan tried to flick it. Salas played it in. Now NC State. Manny Perez again running downhill. He'll drop it to Loera. Machado was open for a second. Now they'll check it back to Garcia.
Well, and they had the three-headed attack there, Dean, if they could have just really gotten it out of their own feet and put something in.
They play it long to Roberts. Comcia has Jeremy Kelly on the left side. Jeremy Kelly. Machado keeping an eye on him for a second, so back again to Comcia. The Salas brothers into the game for North Carolina. Mark and Martin. Here is Martin. He'll play it forward to Peters. Remember, Aguilera left early with what looked like a fairly major injury. We hope he's okay. Wish him the best. Not sure if he's going to be able to return in this game.
And Gio doing a great job there for UNC just to keep possession and hold on to this ball.
Montez Diaco. That is Giovanni Montez Diaco. Manny Perez over to Pepe Garcia. Niels Brooding had it for a moment, knocked out of bounds. There's Debbie Yao down there. What a job she's done as the athletic director here for NC State. Are you kidding me? Like this environment tonight, all of the teams, all of the coaches, including George Kiefer. Got something special going here at NC State, John.
Yeah, she really does, and she wants to be as close to the field as possible. She is such a spectator. She loves and enjoys every single sport for NC State.
Machado, nifty little move. David Loera back to Machado. Here's Loera. Perez is open on the right side. One bounce to him and can't keep it in bounds. Good idea for David Loera. If he can bring it down, get a touch, he can cross it in. As you see the wonderful crowd here at Dail Soccer Stadium, Raleigh, North Carolina, on the campus of NC State University.
Well, Machado did a good job of just giving Loera some space, and it was a great ball. Manny Perez just could not get that ball down and keep it in play. And you see, as soon as this ball is played back, watch the high pressure from UNC.
Norris. Jeremy Kelly got a piece of it, so did Seals. Kelly cleans it up. Boy, North Carolina looking clean when they win it back, right? Bruning. And he'll go out of bounds over in front of the NC State bench that we were telling you about earlier. Picked up by Nelson.
Roberts got his foot up high there a little bit. There was a call for a dangerous play, but Carolina gets the ball back. I think one of the reasons why they're so good, Dean, in close games, 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, is they're just so patient on the ball. They're willing to wait for their opportunity, is UNC.
David Loera. Blatko will bring it back to Norris. Norris, good step forward. Seals, though, got in his way. It's picked up by Kelly. Kelly now. North Carolina with that transition game. They take their time. Here's Kelly now. He's got an opportunity to spread it wide right here to Bruning. Bruning, first times, corner kick. Corner kick, Tar Heels.
When you love how Pineda just commanded the middle of the field there. He came up, he played a high line and some pressure there, won the ball back for UNC, and now they're going to get a corner kick out of this.
Milo Garvanyan going to come over to take the corner. Bruning standing behind Croft. Peters is also there, and Croft will get it.
Good work from the goalkeeper, Leon Croft. Just came out and claimed that one. It's so important as a goalkeeper to get that early touch like that, and that's what Croft did.
Schnoily, who had that overtime thriller against William and Mary. Norris with some pressure. It'll go off of North Carolina and be a throw in for NC State. Good decision right there by Simon Blatko.
Yeah, and you just see that pressure from UNC and eventually just to be patient, and it will pay off back there. NC State's already feeling that pressure, has already made some defensive mistakes back there.
David Loera. Machado, Pepe Garcia, good run, top of the 18. Pyle is outside the 18, he spills it. He almost took a step out of the 18 with the ball in his hand, had to spill it. Hopefully we can take a look at that and see if in fact he stepped out of the 18 with the ball in his hand.
Oh, and great work from the goalkeeper, Pyle. I'll tell you what, it looked like he did handle the ball, but he picked it up, it looked like on the line, and then let go of it or released it and played it off there with his chest.
Milo Garvanyan sent out of there by NC State. It'll be a throw in for Jeremy Kelly and the Tar Heels. Let's take a look and see what happened here with James Pyle, John Bouye.
Yeah, and you see a great ball. It was a great ball that was just played over the top, and Garcia was running onto it, and it looked like he was going to get there. Pyle came out and did a good job there.
I thought the replay was coming. We'll take a look at it later. Here's Kelly. Little give and go here. Kelly. Montez Diaco, and it'll be returning here to NC State.
No, I have been very impressed with Jeremy Kelly so far. He's so good at just those little touches to avoid the defender, and then continues his run on, receives the ball, and his head is always up looking for the next pass.
NC State will play it back to Krop. Krop will knock it out of bounds and come back to North Carolina. This game is flying by. It's already less than 11 minutes remaining in the first.
And Krop just gives that one back to a dangerous UNC team here.
David Loera. Looks like NC State going to try to make a change next opportunity.
Maybe Carlos Samuano sees something, because now Jelani Peters has lined up on the other side of the field, maybe trying to exploit that speed down the line.
Nelson plays it forward to Peters. Montez Diaco will switch it right side. First time in. It'll be a corner kick, Tar Heels. Good ball there coming in for Jack Skahan, who's back on the field for the Tar Heels. He's been bothered by some injuries, did not start, but getting in there and leading to the corner kick for North Carolina. And Skahan with Kelly coming over. Skahan's gonna go ahead and take it. Skahan down on the ground, Bruning turning, not on target, goal kick NC State.
Well, Skahan played a good ball on the ground there, but it just kind of rose up there on Bruning, and he kicked it right over the goal. But good pressure, and it all started from Jelani Peters on this opposite side, playing the ball to Skahan and really getting the UNC attack going.
Ade Taiwo, the senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, Cardinal Gibbons High School, the big man who finally getting back out on the field. He was pretty good against Louisville, I thought, playing a key role in that one.
Yeah, he certainly was. Such a talented player, a physical specimen, as we always talk about. Just he can get in there, play with his back to the goal, and really make something happen for the Wolfpack.
He's had multiple knee surgeries and still wearing a pretty big brace out there, but we'll see what he can do, banging around for 8 or 9 minutes. Pineda. Now Peters, this is trouble. They square it back, kept alive by Montez Diaco, denied there, top of the 18 by Brad Sweeney. Back again, good ball in, trying to find Peters. Headed out of there, there's Salas, now Peters again, Blotko doing the work, now Perez.
And that was dangerous for NC State because the back four had pushed up on the attack. They lost the ball, and then all of a sudden UNC came with 4 on the counter attack. Just couldn't get it done. Gio had a good shot at it, though.
It'll roll out of bounds. I want to say a special hello to Tabaret Ramos, one of the all-time greats, Hall of Famer here at NC State. He's watching for a couple reasons. One, he's watching his Wolfpack, but just as important, keeping an eye on Manny Perez and some of the future stars. He'll be coaching the U20 World Cup team coming up. And, of course, Manny Perez expected to be the starting right back for the USA. And we know Tab is watching. One of the all-time greats to ever put on the red, white, and blue, let alone for NC State. Schnoily.
Of course, when we talk about David Loera, we compare him sometimes to the great Tab Ramos. He is so talented, but a smaller player, but such a physical player and such a great heart.
Never forget, I had the honor of being the press officer for the 1994 U.S. World Cup team, and Tab Ramos taking that thunder to the head against Brazil, a red card against Brazil. Thought maybe the U.S. could pull it off even on the 4th of July. They didn't, and that was a devastating blow. I mean, fractured his skull.
Yeah.
Taiwo. Bruning. 6 minutes and change remaining here in the first. Still no score. 4 shots for North Carolina. 1 for NC State. If you're just joining us, Aguilera, the number 10, went out with an injury. So in stepped one of the Salas brothers, as you're seeing Mark chase it down. Martin Salas now, big shoes to fill, Salas to Salas.
And really, we talked about Mauricio Pineda in the beginning of the game and just talked about how important he would be for the Tar Heels, and he has really lived up to the billing so far in the middle of the park, Dean.
He has indeed. It was Pineda to Kelly. Kelly's going to circle back. Jeremy Kelly having a great year, always an honest performance. They're just looking for a few more points out of Jeremy Kelly. As it's knocked out of bounds, it'll be a throw in for the Tar Heels. Martin Salas to his brother Mark Salas. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the first. Bruning will pop it long. Good ball to Skahan. Skahan got to first time it. Corner kick, Tar Heels.
Well, and good work from UNC to just play that ball. Bruning just played it right over the top of the defense for NC State. Got it in behind, and Skahan just got that shot blocked, but another corner kick here for the Tar Heels.
Skahan again with the corner. Last time he kept it low. This time he keeps it high. Good ball to Pineda. It'll fall back to the top of the 18. Montez Diaco will drop it back here to Nelson. Nelson with that left foot. Pretty good ball to Bruning. And just missing outside of that near post. Bruning almost making it 1-0 with a little over 4 minutes remaining in the first.
Well, you know why he's responsible for 13 points for the Tar Heels so far. He did a great job to get in position right on that far post and just missed that one. Another good opportunity as UNC piles on the pressure right before halftime.
3:45 remaining here in the first. Pineda, what a touch here to Peters. Peters now into the 18. Montez Diaco's in there, so is Skahan. He was trying to get it through to Skahan. Picked off there by NC State. Loera's going to get a touch. Loera again. So elusive. Tough ball for Garcia. Skahan bringing all kinds of energy off the bench for Carlos Samuano. Good little check back there by Gio. Back to Skahan. Skahan, curving ball. Peters is over there and knocked out of bounds. Corner kick, North Carolina.
Well, and that was a dangerous ball. Once again, Skahan gets behind the back four and lays that ball in, and Blanco was right there at the far post and just watched it go out and pushed it out wide.
Skahan going to go to both sides here. They could do a short one to Kelly. Kelly, Skahan talking it over. Two players over there with him. Kelly into Peters. Peters back to Skahan. Near post by Kropp. What a wonderful play drawn up there by the Tar Heels.
Yeah, it was a fantastic play by the Tar Heels, and really Kropp probably didn't see this too much, but he stood strong and got his feet in front of it.
Kelly, good ball, back to Peters. Peters gonna create his own space. Hit it, goal kick, Wolfpack.
Well, the Wolfpack did a good job of just staying in front of Peters there, not allowing him any space. He was just trying to get a little space to curve that in, but could not find the space at the top of the 18.
Ivy Brisma now into the game. Another one of those players with just great ball skills, can run right at you. Exciting little player, and he's going to come on for Machado. Pineda. Now to Jeremy Kelly. Kelly. Middle of the park, he'll switch it.
It almost seems like the Wolfpack are just sitting back and waiting for UNC to pressure them, not putting any pressure on the ball from Kelly there.
Skahan, right foot. Knocked out of bounds as we are just over 1 minute remaining here in the first half. North Carolina dangerous here in the last 5 minutes. Throw in, trying to find Bruning. That was Sweeney, got his head on it. Now here's Brisma off the bench. And Brisma ripped away there by Pineda. He's everywhere. Pineda's going to run with it. Pineda going to try to be on the end of it. He gets his head on it. Peters backs up on it, curves it, and just misses.
Well, if it didn't work the first time, give it another shot. And there's Jelani Peters right almost in the same space from the previous shot. But how about Pineda all the way from the midfield spot, gets the tackle, wins the ball back for UNC, continues his run, heads the ball back to Peters, and just misses that far post.
Final 15 seconds. NC State perhaps will be pleased to get into the locker room at zeros. We've caught a few games where they let in a first half goal. This one's zeros. George Kiefer has shown some masterful work coming out of the locker room. And through 45, the #1 team in the country, North Carolina, and the NC State Wolfpack knotted at zeros.
Well, and the Wolfpack hung in there right towards the end of halftime. I'll tell you what, a lot of pressure from UNC. UNC really starting to fire on all cylinders. Substitutes came in, did a good job for them. It could be difficult in the second half.
So Carlos Sanjuano will go into the locker room with his Tar Heels. George Kiefer will go into the locker room with his NC State Wolfpack. We're tied at zeros. We're going to step aside and be back with more here at halftime. #1 North Carolina. Friday night under the lights, Dail Soccer Stadium, NC State University, Raleigh, North Carolina. It's halftime here. A fantastic crowd with the #1 team in the country here, North Carolina and NC State tied at 0. Dean Lincoln with John Bouye. John, let's take a look at the first half highlights as we've got a technical difficulties not seeing the highlights here at NC State. Halftime with 11:15 remaining here in the first. But when you break down the game, whether we can see the highlights or not right there, you look at North Carolina, those 5 shots and 5 corner kicks in this one.
Yeah, definitely Carolina was the busier of teams, especially on the attacking side. They really had everything working. Pineda has been phenomenal in the middle of the park for UNC, just really kind of pulling the strings. We kept talking about David Loera on the other side, but Pineda and everyone else in the UNC midfield has done such a good job of closing him down and getting to the ball first. UNC starting to get some opportunities here. Gio will probably get some other players on the outside, so it could be tough.
According to Stat Broadcast, 8 shots for North Carolina, 1 for NC State. 3 of those shots on goal, 3 saves for Crop in goal. Apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll step aside and be back with more here. Halftime, NC State and North Carolina, no score. Wonderful crowd here on a Friday night. Dail Soccer Stadium, home to the NC State Wolfpack. They're in red. They are out, huddled up, and ready to go here, John, against the #1 team in the country, the North Carolina Tar Heels. George Kiefer, his keys before the game and how they relate now as we start the second half.
Yeah, well, he talks about initially breaking UNC's initial pressure, play in 2 phases, keep the ball and switch the ball. They really haven't been able to switch that ball. They lose it in the midfield, and then they wind up playing defense. And then, of course, their set-piece defense, which really hasn't been a problem tonight.
Meanwhile, the team in white are visitors from Chapel Hill. Their keys before the game and what they're going to do here in the second half.
Well, Carlos Sanjuano talked about it. He said this NC State crowd is going to be good, and they had to manage their emotions to score early, which they almost did in the first half. But the one thing, UNC to be disciplined and determined. They were the most disciplined team in the first half, and they almost got a goal out of it.
Well said. So we'll see what happens here in the second half. Thank you for joining us on ACC Network Extra. Busy day in Raleigh, North Carolina. Apologize for a few technical difficulties with replay and the like, but just pleased to be with you here for this big game, John. As you said, the beautiful game on display, and with NC State back under George Kiefer and Carlos Sanjuano, all he does is take his team to college cups back-to-back years. This is so great for soccer in the ACC and soccer across the country.
Yeah, it really is. Just 2 talented teams on the field tonight, and already in the second half you see that high pressure from UNC. Gio is literally giving everything he can out there, just hovering over the back 4 of NC State. And since Scahan has come in, even in the first half, he has just done a wonderful job in keeping things moving forward for UNC.
Jeremy Kelly had himself a nice first half. Kelly, a little bit of pressure, he'll earn the whistle, and a foul against Manny Perez.
We talked about how talented of a player Manny Perez is, but he has just been suffocated tonight, Dean. Cannot get anything going, but it only takes a spark from him, and you will see a completely different player.
Tar Heels back-to-back in the College Cup, outscoring the opposition 19-5, outshooting the opposition on an average of 11-5. They're a clean team, no red cards. They've only had 7 cautions this entire year, and they are the 4th-ranked defense in the nation, winning a lot of those 1-0 games.
When it goes back to what we talked about, a disciplined team, a team that's not easily pulled into a yellow card skirmish or even a red card, as you see sometimes in these games.
But as we told you, under George Kiefer, NC State had been a giant killer with 4 wins and 2 ties against teams ranked 14 or higher. And of course, North Carolina, the current #1 team in the nation. And all it takes is one opportunity for George Kiefer's NC State Wolfpack. Pineda, so good in that first half. Back to Peters, a little bit of fake, and sent out of there by Sweeney.
And Peters does a good job of just setting up right on the top of the 18 and trying to get a little space.
Pineda bouncing through. It'll go off of Schnoily and out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina.
We talked about how important Pineda is in the middle of the field, not just on the defensive side, but look how far up in the middle of the field he's playing right there on the attacking side and really pulling the strings for Carolina.
Skahan to take the corner. Jeremy Kelly over there with them. 3 minutes into the second half. Absolutely splendid night. Finally, the kind of weather you live in North Carolina for right here tonight. Nelson, good left foot, far side, looking for Pineda. That's Norris first, Norris second, and Pineda will let it roll out of bounds.
Norris does a good job of just staying put there and playing that ball out with his head. You know, you saw him in that circle right before the second half started, getting this team energized and psyched up for this second half. He is a leader out there, Dean.
Nelson. That's Skahan, rather. Skahan with the throw. Top of the 18, Salas, Skahan, good touch. Back in, trouble. Little turn, Montez Diaco back to Skahan. Skahan across, Taiwo. Bruning. Montez Diaco ripped there by Garcia on the Wolfpack faithful. Like it from the freshman from Spain. Machado looking for Taiwo, and Kamsia with a collision there against Taiwo.
Well, Taiwo went down like a ton of bricks there. That's a big boy, I'll tell you what. But great work from NA, just a quick move in the midfield, set for Taiwo. But how about the work from Garcia in the back? Fantastic job from the freshman.
Taiwo over to Garcia. Blotko. Montez Diaco looking for Skahan. How good has Skahan been off the bench for Carlos Samuano?
Yeah, just coming in, he has really given a jolt to this UNC offense. Keeps the ball out wide and likes to look for those runners coming in through the 18.
Throw in for NC State. Pepe Garcia. Taiwo played at Cardinal Gibbons, just like Jeremy Kelly, a few years older. David Loera with the magic, the magician, plays it forward to Manny Perez. Perez in a battle over there with Jeremy Kelly, and Kelly's gonna win it.
And just a little bit of that magic there in the midfield, pulled the string, and Perez was on the other end. A great work there from NC State, but once again, the back four composed, compacted there, and doesn't allow that next play to come through.
Middle of the park here. Now North Carolina will bring it back. Nelson to Kamsia, now Salas. Skahan, cropped way off, and he'll send it into the crowd.
Nice ball played in there for Skahan. Kropp did a good job of just coming off his line and kicking that one out of bounds.
Machado around Bruning. Taiwo, good ball to Lovera. He's got Machado on his left. Does he know he's there? Loera staying with it. He had Machado open. Loera's in. Dail! NC State!
Well, we talked about the little magician in the midfield pulling strings for other people, and sometimes you just got to pull your own strings. A defensive breakdown there from UNC. Loera capitalizes and blisters this thing into the back of the net past Pyle, and NC State is up on #1 North Carolina at home.
Smoke bombs going off. A record crowd, 3,229, a sellout. NC State Wolfpack soccer is back, and David Loera lighting it up. I thought he was going to drop it to Machado, but he kept it. And you knew when it was one-on-one, it was over.
And Machado was on his left side, but he was a little bit far behind him. David Loera said, I'm going to take this myself, and did such a wonderful job in finishing that ball past Pyle. And I'll tell you what, NC State has been on the back foot of this game, but now things have completely changed.
No Aguilera, it's Salas. Good ball here to Kelly. North Carolina, let's see how they respond. Jeremy Kelly feeling the pressure. He goes down, does not get the call. Manny Perez staying with it. NC State feeling it. They give it to David Loera. Manny Perez wants it back. Machado's also open. Now they'll drop it back. And Seals will lose it.
And the
Machado's made a couple good runs, John. Sorry.
Yeah, he certainly has. And the Wolfpack have to be careful about touches and not losing this ball in the back four.
Yeah, Bruning right back on it. Tar Heels, good ball over. Dangerous for Norris. Corner kick, North Carolina.
Well, Norris has been so solid in the back for the Wolfpack. He just plays his line so well, and there you were worried that he might kick it into his own goal. But kicks it out again. Another corner kick here for UNC.
Skahan, driven in. Finds Salas, but over the crossbar. What a ball from Skahan. Delivered in by the number 8.
Yeah, and Skahan put that right on the head of Martin Salas, and he just couldn't finish it. A great opportunity there for UNC. Really not marked that well, but he just hit it over the goal.
Schnoily, Garcia, right foot. And knocked out of bounds.
And Carlos Samuano talked about getting the crowd out of it early, Dean. And I'll tell you what, he's in trouble now because this crowd is in full force, red out, ready to go.
North Carolina's never in too much trouble, though. They're that good, right?
Yes.
Here's Skahan. Salas over to Pineda. Peters. Machado. Manny Perez. Nelson tracks back to slow down Perez.
But Manny Perez has picked up another speed here in this second half. It's almost like as soon as Loera got that ball, he knew the overlapping run was open and just kicked it into high gear. But once again, the composed back four of UNC really able to shut that down.
Seals looking for Perez, not home, so it's Nelson. Nelson, Kamsia, and Salas, that three in the back, just really kind of unfortunate. Looks like they had it covered. They were giving it to Machado, and Loera kept it and somehow was able to just squeeze it through and stay with it as North Carolina had stepped up, and then he was one-on-one for the goal.
And just really the only defensive mistake so far tonight from Carolina. And, of course, David Loera right there to capitalize on it.
David Loera, just his second goal of the season to go with 6 assists. And it comes against the #1 team in the country.
No bigger goal than that, Dean.
Salas pinging it long, looking for Gio Montes Diaco. Another Salas over to Kelly. Kelly has been very good in this game. Tried to earn that foul against Perez earlier, but the referee wasn't having it. Good curled ball to Bruning. Bruning with Pepe Garcia on him. Niels Bruning down near the end line. Hit that one too hard, and now Manny Perez. He wanted to turn. Peters gets it back. Good ball turned in. North Carolina trying to curl one in. Far side, inside the 18. It was Kelly with the shot, but not on target.
Well, Manny Perez has got to be careful, especially in his own 18 when he's dealing with that ball. He gets the ball taken off of his feet right there. And as you said, Nelson gets a good opportunity on goal there, but NC State dodges another bullet.
Smoke bombs still hovering around here on this Friday night under the lights. Dail Soccer Stadium. NC State on top 1-0. First half, North Carolina with a lot of opportunities, particularly late. And as we told you already, Brett Copton, the fine SID for NC State, telling us 3,229, a sellout and new record here.
That is awesome.
Pineda. Sweeney, nobody home. And Nelson, the sophomore from Medina, Ohio, will come back to get it from Pyle.
NC State just looks a little more composed on the ball here in the second half. The back four have to be really careful not to get too cute back there. Really just make the passes and get the ball out as soon as the pressure comes.
Turnover. Seals. Good job by Salas to close it down. Taiwo. Taiwo with a little bump there on Kamsia. And a whistle against Taiwo. Kamsia is one of the best defenders in the country, so it's going to be hard to get much off of him. It doesn't matter how big you are. That's how good Kamsia is.
Yeah, Kamsia does a good job of just keeping his body between Taiwo and the ball, and Taiwo just knocked him over.
Of course, NC State's football team undefeated, and short of the knee brace, Taiwo looks like he could start at linebacker for NC State.
Yeah, they're having a good season so far, Dean.
Yeah, they are. Up next is Clemson at Clemson, and NC State proved a couple years ago that they can beat Clemson so close, just a
field goal.
Missed field goal, right? John Bouye showing he knows that other football game. Shocker. Here's Bruning. Bruning down the right side, 30 minutes and change. Bruning, good squared ball, Skahan to Kelly. And cleaned up there by Sweeney, as Sweeney also doing some good work at that number 6.
Yeah, great stuff there on the number 6 there. But I'll tell you what, UNC are really starting to click and put together some passes. Kelly and Skahan are looking dangerous on this side.
And we got a lot of soccer left here, folks. 30 minutes. Kamsia gonna bomb it long, try to find Bruning. Pepe Garcia, pushed from behind by Bruning. Here's Machado, back to Garcia. Skahan closing in, Machado back with it. Machado pushed to the ground, and he will get that whistle that time.
Machado is such a seasoned player there. He knows how to call the foul, even if maybe he didn't get pushed over. He's gonna win a free kick here for NC State.
John, you talked about it in the open. It was your first comment, the environment that they're building here in Raleigh. A lot of credit also because North Carolina travels so well, but 3,229, a sellout and new record. I'm honored to be a part of it with you.
Yeah, me too. It really is an honor, and the Red Terrors are showing out tonight, Dean, aren't they?
I feel like the entire soccer community showing out. This is a good crowd. There's a great vibe for soccer in the area. North Carolina FC, of course, NC State, Duke, the Tar Heels, the North Carolina Courage on the women's side, the NC State women, also a fantastic program. Of course, the Tar Heel women, Anson Dorrance, they're right up there like they always are.
Absolutely, just storied soccer programs, 2 of them on the field tonight, and UNC's not done though.
Blotko comes forward. It'll come all the way back to Pyle. So roll all the way out of bounds. Good job by Peters. It'll be a corner kick. Skahan and Kelly.
Well, the Tar Heels have had corner kick after corner kick tonight, Dean. They just have not been able to capitalize. The Wolfpack doing a good job in the back four, just keeping locked into their position and winning their balls in the air.
Driven in. And Taiwo has brought his size tonight. Shot from distance. Knocked away by Crump. Corner kick, Tar Heels.
Well, and great work from Taiwo to clear that ball, but it only goes. Here we're going to get a chance to actually see it. The ball gets fired back out, and Kropp sees it, and boy, was that ball swirling, and Kropp did a good job of just getting 2 strong hands to it. Makes the save. Another corner kick here for the Tar Heels.
All right, kudos to our crew here on the scramble. Technical difficulties, we think, out of the way. North Carolina sending it in. It'll be another corner kick. Great job by Matthew Curry and the gang. George Kiefer, Jeff Nagalia looking on. NC State on top. Tar Heels trying to tie it. Bruning taking it. He'll drop it back. Taken away, though, by Machado. Loera calling for it. David Loera. Oh, and what a tackle. What a tackle by Salas. Ripping it away. Tar Heels come the other way. Pineda, he can hit it from here, folks. He'll step back on it. Pineda. And he does hit it. Deflected away there by Pepe Garcia.
Well, and Salas made a fantastic tackle on Loera in the middle, and Pineda had nothing else on his mind but his shot there. Good work by the NC State defense again.
Salas to Pineda. Now back here to Bruning. North Carolina driven in by Bruning. Flicked out of there, Skahan hustling. Knocked to the ground. North Carolina pedal to the metal. Pineda back to Bruning. Bruning across, good ball. It'll fall again. Salas sends it back in. Oh, North Carolina right here, trying to tie it. And Kropp will pick it up.
Just trying to weather the storm. NC State is here. It is all Carolina. Kropp once again sees this one early and is able to get down and smother it. Good work from the goalkeeper.
There you see the stats now, everything working there. Look at that. On goal and total shots for State and North Carolina. Kamsia. Taiwo trying to go right through white jerseys. David Loera will run it down. Perez is behind him. You cannot dive in on Loera, and Kelly does not. 1-0 NC State. They survive a barrage there from the Tar Heels to keep it 1-0. The Let's Go Wolfpack chant with 3,200 plus here at Dail Soccer Stadium, and this will come back to Pyle.
On a good idea played over the top there for Taiwo, just a little bit too far in front of them. Now you're seeing NC State play composed, really patient, knowing that they have the lead, and possession is so important.
Love those shots of the crowd. Cannot get enough of it as they set a new attendance record. John, we promised they were going to do it, and they delivered it.
They certainly did. They certainly did. This crowd has been fantastic tonight.
David Loera, the magician, as John Bouyer, the beautiful man, calls him, and certainly magical on that first goal. Once he broke through, you knew he was going to finish it.
Well, and you just got to give a lot of credit to the back four of NC State right now. They are holding it in and not giving anything to the Tar Heels.
Offside flag is up there, and Pyle, that's twice he's been outside his 18.
As you mentioned, there's Taiwo, big and a force to be reckoned with, and Pyle had to come out and get that one.
Looking for Peters. Norris will clear it long. Nelson taken away. Give Perez a bit of an assist to win it. He was hoping to get it back. He doesn't. Kamsia won back again here, though, by Seals. David Loera. Back to Perez. Taiwo in front. And Perez goes long. Machado shot out of a cannon. Look at that move by Bruning. And here comes Bruning. Big, tall, strong player. Been playing on the wing, but you see him right down the middle right now. One there by Kelly. Kelly, what a touch. Peters, also a good touch. Skahan sent in. And that was Schnoily kind of saving the day. They look to find Loera.
And NC State holding the line again back there, Dean. Norris has been phenomenal. Schnoily back there as well. You just mentioned they're just holding the line. They're not moving from that position, not letting UNC get behind him.
NC State going to try to get a couple players in. We are midway through the second half. NC State, a breakaway goal from David Loera, as it looked like North Carolina had it handled, but it snuck through. Pineda. Keep waiting for him to maybe pop one from there. Peters, good right foot, ball in! Bruning off the crossbar, deflected, out of bounds. What a ball in, and Bruning so close to making it 1-1.
Well, I don't think Jelani Peters could have played a better ball to the feet of Bruning. Here you're going to see it. UNC spreads out in formation. He plays this right to the foot. All Bruning has to do is just tap that one in, and he just tries to hit it too hard, and it sails over the crossbar.
A lot of soccer left. 21-30. Corner kick driven in. North Carolina is driving balls in and around the 6. Salas going to win it over Sweeney. Salas looking for white jerseys. He's got Bruning. He's got Peters. He'll drop it to Pineda. Pineda far side. Taiwo loose and hammered again by Bruning, but not on frame.
Wow, and it looked like Taiwo headed that right back into danger. Bruning got another good look at it. Here we see it. Taiwo heads it right back. It bounces off, and Bruning looks like he'd probably get a deflection here, but he calls the goal kick.
Coming in for the Wolfpack, 7, Tanner Roberts.
And man, oh man, is UNC bringing the pressure now, Dean.
They are bringing straight heat. It's NC State with the lead. Now NC State going to go to their bench, bring in some subs here. Tyler Gabera, number 11, going to come into the game, as well as number 7, Tanner Roberts. Of course, Tyler Gabera, we've told you before about his amazing parents. Karen Jennings Gabera, longtime coach of the Navy women's soccer team, a member of the 1991 U.S. World Cup team that won the first ever World Cup over in China. Jim Gabera, one of the all-time greats as well, played for the U.S. men's national team. Phenomenal indoor soccer player, futsal, back before futsal was even popular. This will fall here to Salas.
And it looks like George Kiefer just wanted to get some fresh legs into the game. Players look gassed out there.
Dail Tywell, though, a good shift, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Peters, there's George Kiefer. 9 of the last 10 years at USF. South Florida taking his team to the NCAA's first year at NC State, getting his team there. Like George Tarantini from that New York, Long Island area, New Jersey area where they brought great players down. They're doing it again, and NC State is back.
Well, he certainly knows what's at stake with this game.
Peters, that long throw in as North Carolina trying to find Milo Garvanyan. Peters, a big swing, deflected there, throw in North Carolina. NC State, they're gonna have to hang on here in front of this record crowd as North Carolina is gonna bring it. Good ball over the top. Tar Heels win it again. Kelly, and right to Kropp, the goalkeeper.
When you saw what Kelly was trying to do, but just too close to the goalkeeper, we thought maybe Bruning was trying to get in there and get a head on it, but Kropp just comes out and picks that one up and gives NC State a little bit of a rest here, Dean.
We told you about those 4 wins, 2 draws against top 14 teams over the last couple years during the George Kiefer era. Loera trying to find Roberts. You mentioned Bruning coming all the way back from knee surgery. Roberts as well doing that same thing on the other side for NC State. Out of bounds. Go ahead, John.
And really for the Wolfpack, you really like to see them just hold on to possession there. No need to play that ball long over the top, especially when your team is winded and gassed. Been doing so much running on this field right now.
North Carolina, they're undefeated when they score at least 1 goal. At the moment, they're looking at a 0. They got that 1-1 draw in their last game against Old Dominion, and their only defeat came in a 1-0 shutout to Indiana when the Tar Heels outshot the Hoosiers 11-3. Soccer can be a vicious game at times.
Yeah. A lot of times it involves a goalkeeper standing on his head on the other side, making those 11 saves.
Of course, all those stats provided by the great TJ Scholl for North Carolina. Does a good job as their SID. 16:30 remaining here in this one, out of bounds, back to NC State. John, what a crowd here. I mean, just a great atmosphere for college soccer.
Well, and the game needed something, didn't it, Dean? I'll tell you what, we kept talking about David Loera. He really wasn't getting a whole lot of opportunities, but he never quit, he never gave up. And what a goal for NC State here at home against #1 North Carolina.
Kelly looking for Skahan. Pineda is hoping to drop it through. Skahan has been everywhere off the bench for Carlos Samuano. He has been very good.
Yeah, he certainly has, and you can see NC State really just trying to park that bus in the 18-yard box and shut everything down for UNC, but UNC has to be careful of the counterattack.
Bruning sent in. Kelly knocks it down, he'll lose it. Little turn. Peters pops up to Kelly, and a foul on Kelly. That's going to be a card for number 29. A card on Kelly, and this kind of foul has been a concern for George Kiefer because Loera multiple times has had breakaways and that good old-fashioned professional foul.
Well, it's a frustration foul as well, Dean. Look at Kelly. The ball gets taken away from him here by Loera. There's no way he's going to catch him, so he just pulls him down. He saw what he did in the first goal, and he doesn't want it to happen again.
Jeremy Kelly, his brother, a big-time tennis player for the Tar Heels. Pretty impressive family, the Kellys. One of the better families you're going to meet, that's for sure. We can tell you that officially 15 and change left in this one. 15-15. It's 1-0 NC State on top. We talked about what Debbie Yao is building here. She was here earlier, wondering if she might be home watching this one right now.
Wherever she is, she's celebrating.
Here's Loera. Will square it. NC State, Pepe Garcia with Brooding on it. Garcia looking for an option and keeps it in bounds.
Good work from Garcia, because he had high pressure on him, but you don't want to lose the ball up there, especially when your defense is playing so high.
Roberts stays on side. Boy, Kamsia, he is just a vacuum back there, though. Up for anything, and it's part of the reason why you can go to 3 in the back. When you got a guy like Kamsia who can handle about anything, it allows you to go with this 3-4-3 formation.
And especially when you have a guy like Pineda sitting right in front of you.
Good job, John Bouye. The beautiful man on his game here. They bring it forward here to Kelly. Kelly spinning with it. He's hoping to draw a corner even better, though. He drops it to Peters. Pineda. I keep thinking he's going to first time just absolutely dial one up, but he has not found the perfect angle to do that just yet.
When you thought he was going to play the early ball to Bruning, who was wide open on the outside, but Pineda tried to get around the first defender. It just never happened.
ACC proud to tell you about their 15 schools all on one network, a new place to call home, the ACC Network, coming August 2019. And if they get games like this one, they will be rocking and rolling. Wonderful crowd here, and it's 1-0 NC State. Gabera, Tyler Gabera, he was part of Coach Finley's team here, as Coach Finley helped bring a lot of these players here as well, and who George Kiefer said when he came in, he's like, look, you're all my guys. You're all part of the Wolfpack family. And George Kiefer talking about Gabera being one of those guys that was ready for it. Jeff Nagalia, some instructions here as NC State going to bring back A.J. Seals.
Well, Gabera, just a great player so far. He's come off the bench. He did a great job there of getting the ball away from Skahan and giving this opportunity here to NC State.
So I think that's Sweeney over there far side. All the way across the field, over in front of the NC State bench. NC State dealing with all that pressure. That second goal would certainly ease the pressure. A lot of time left in here. And right to Pyle, no problem.
Yeah, just too close to the goalkeeper, Pyle, and you really want to pull that one back towards the top of the 18 and at least give your guys a chance to get something on it.
Bruning, side of his foot. Blatko was ready for it. David Loera with Sweeney in the middle of the park. Also into the game, number 25, Jose Morales Jr. Giving Seals a bit of a break. Whistle against NC State. The Wolfpack fans don't like it.
No, they were frustrated with that. They thought it was a 50-50 ball, and it looked that way, really. Gabera doing another great job of just getting back on defense and winning that ball back for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I like this move. George Kiefer, he's a good coach. Jeff Nagalia, it's a nice change there, bringing in Gabera, and here's David Loera. He is a handful, and NC State going to take their time. They'll be in no hurry right now.
And look at the size difference between Loera and Pineda. I mean, Pineda just towers over him. But just a couple of nice moves there just to get around Pineda. And probably, you assume Coach Samuano now says, Pineda, we cannot let Loera out of our sight. We've got to shut him down here.
Brad Sweeney going to get a rare break here as Seal's going to come back in to join Morales in the middle of the park. Loera loses it. Bruning staying with it. Bruning. And a good tackle there by Pepe Garcia. Timed perfectly and knocked out of bounds.
Well, he's had some key tackles tonight. You remember in the first half, a great tackle on the top of the 18 that got the ball back.
Scahan, a pretty good throw. Top of the 18 there and a whistle. This is danger time here. We saw Louisville with a similar situation. Tie it with 1 minute remaining in regulation to force overtime.
And here you're going to see it. Good work from Scahan. Again, just really kind of pushing into the defense of NC State and gets the call.
That was John Nelson who was fouled right there. $10 minutes and 23 seconds. The clock is frozen. Grant Porter, great assistant coach there for Carlos Samuano. His numbers are mind-boggling what he's done at North Carolina. Back-to-back college cups, of course, winning it all in 2011.
Of course, you got Bruning standing over the ball, who has 13 points for the Tar Heels, the assist leader in Pineda. You might see an interplay between them.
Drew Murphy, wearing number 9, also looks pretty interested. Murphy's going to dial it, and not on frame. Drew Murphy, the transfer from UC Santa Barbara, which, by the way, is where the College Cup will be held this year. Of course, Drew Murphy would love to return to Santa Barbara. As you see, Niels Bruning, who's been very, very good here in the second half.
And Drew Murphy really wanted that left foot just to swing into the top corner and just hit it way too hard. It just sailed over the NC State goal.
Look at the shot disparity there. North Carolina.
North Carolina.
David Loera with the only goal so far.
And here you're going to see it. Look at the little magician, boy, with the biggest heart. Look at the move around. He gets the ball back from the defender. He looks up. He sees where Pyle is, and he pile drives that thing into the back of the net.
Boy, his movement forced Pyle to go one way.
It's like a video
here. A record crowd, 3,229 went crazy. Now they're just going to try to hang on as North Carolina, the #1 team in the nation for a reason. As you know, they're going to bring more shots here.
Well, if the Wolfpack can just keep possession of the ball here, they keep losing it to UNC on the counter.
Scahan's got Bruning coming. He'll give it to Bruning. Murphy's into the 18. So is Montez Diaco. Scahan drops it in, no problem for NC State.
You'd almost like to see UNC start to shoot from the outside of the 18. It looks like they're trying to walk in every goal or play from the outside and really just try to get a cross or a good touch and take some shots, put Kraft in a difficult position. George Kiefer, you know, only a couple minutes left here, and he knows where his team's at and what's really at stake here, Dean.
Manny Perez going to get a break. You feel like he's just pulling all the pieces. NC State showing some major depth here in this one, trying to hang on for what would be one of those big scoreboard shakers across not only ACC soccer, but NCAA soccer.
I'll tell you, Gabara coming in the game has been great for NC State. He's really brought some fresh legs, a physical power presence in the middle of the field, won some tackles off of Scahan and kept possession for the Wolfpack.
Kelly wins it, plays it forward, looking for Montez Diaco. One back here by Salas. It's Pineda and Kelly in the middle of the park. As remember, Aguilera, the number 10, was knocked out of the game early in this one, and that's worth mentioning on a team that does not have quite as much depth just yet. You know they will, though. And speaking of that, it'll be a sub here with Peters coming back in. Murphy, a good little run, gives Peters a break, and now Peters will re-enter. Good job by Murphy.
And now you have both sides to worry about. Skahan on the right-hand side and Jelani Peters on the left-hand side. UNC really needs to start switching the field and really putting the back four on that back foot.
Salas with Gabera. Bruning. Broken up there. Jose Morales Jr. Now Schnoily. Safety first here for NC State. But they're going to need a lot of safety. Under 7 minutes remaining. North Carolina going to bring it all here, John Bouye.
Yeah, they certainly are. And they need to batten down the hatches, the Wolfpack.
Jose Morales Jr. Kelly. Peters. Peters, good ball. No, it wasn't. It was too strong. I thought it was going to be perfect for Bruning, but it was too high.
Well, a good idea. Peters played the ball to the far post, but Bruning just started his run a little bit too early and sailed over the top of his head.
Talked to Grant Porter, the assistant coach. In fact, most of those comments you were referencing to Carlos Samuano actually from Porter, but they're so tight. And Porter talking about those midweek games on Tuesday. And there you see Carlos Samuano with Grant Porter. Those Tuesday midweek games can be tough, right? They're bringing everything. Those are like playoff games in Old Dominion with that tie.
They talk about how long it takes a soccer player to fully recover and play at that optimal level again. And the question is that enough time for a Friday night game? But I'll tell you, both teams are bringing it tonight.
Gabera almost kept it alive. Gabera's grandma, one of the first people here. She lives in Wake Forest and comes to all the games. Of course, Tyler Gabera's mom coaching in Navy. Jim Gabera, a longtime coach in the NWSL. 4:50, here's Peters. Kelly, angled ball back. Sent in. Montez Diaco, and it's over the ball as Giovanni Montez Diaco sends it over the crossbar.
On the Tar Heels just encouraging each other here. This ball played in for Gio, and it just slips over his head. He looks like he maybe got something on it, but just right over the top of the crossbar. Skahan is doing a fantastic job for UNC at the top of the 18. He hit a ball with the outside of his foot just to keep that play going to Peters. And they are encouraging each other out there. Dean, let's not give up. There's plenty of time left on this lock.
NC State will gladly take that. And you can see Kropp going to go the opposite end to the ball boy, going to take his time. You got to manage the game right, John.
Well,
you absolutely do.
You certainly do, especially with crunch time like this. And Kropp is going to take his time to set this one and really waste as much time as he possibly can and give his team a breather.
Bruning pops it long. Montez Diaco. It's handled by Schnoily. Morales Jr. Good minutes. Gabera. And that'll go off of Gabera. It'll stay with North Carolina. NC State. They came from behind to take the lead against Louisville. Louisville tied it with a minute remaining. Look at that. 3,229. A new Dail Soccer Stadium record here for NC State. So glad to be a part of it here on ACC Network Extra, along with Matthew Curry and his crew. Pepe Garcia kept clear to center. Montez Diaco, it fell right to the penalty spot. And it was almost 1-1.
Well, Gio's already got 5 goals for the Tar Heels, and that should have been the 6th. Hopefully we get a chance to see this one again. It's a dummy that's played through. Here you see it, he lets it go, and he just couldn't get over the top of the ball, and it sails over the crossbar.
I think it was Pineda who dummied it, stepped over it. Such a smart soccer player. And Montez Diaco, the ball was sitting literally on top of the penalty spot. It was a little more crowded. It wasn't a sitter. There was some red jerseys around him. Taiwo back into the game as George Kiefer just running players in and out, trying to get the final magic here to close the door in what would be his 7th either tie or victory over a top 14 team. This one would be against the #1 team in the country. Kelly denied. Taiwo's got to get rid of it. He can't. Pineda's there. Taiwo again will check it back. Gabera with that pace. Gabera's got Loera on his left side. Wants to get it to him. He does. Great job by Gabera to get it to the little man. Now Gabera. He would take a throw in here, and he will get it.
Well, and great work from Tyler Gabera to just hold on to that ball, keep possession for NC State, give it back to Loera, and then make a nice run.
Loera again. Loera gonna keep it. David Loera checks it back. Gabera's still there. David Loera dancing with it. He is magical. Corner kick, NC State.
Well, one way to not let UNC win is to keep possession of the ball and hold on to it, and the little magician says, there's not a whole lot of time left in this game. I'm gonna make sure we get this one.
Short corner. Gabera and Loera getting it done together. David Loera down near the corner. Can he earn a throw in? No, they'll say North Carolina. This is where Louisville took it with 1:20 remaining in the game, right from this spot. Let's see if North Carolina can do it. Bruning, hard tackle coming in from Taiwo. Plenty of time for the Tar Heels. NC State dropping back. Grisma fell. Kelly will get it out wide. 35 seconds remaining. Kelly has it. North Carolina, just like that, a chance to get it in the 18. And picked off by Klopp, and that should do it for NC State.
Well, Kelly made it interesting right at the end. A good opportunity there, just whips it in the top of the 18. Klopp said, I am going to shut this thing down, and comes out with 2 strong hands.
10 seconds remaining, and Seal sends it into the night. And how about the NC State Wolfpack? Nothing win over the #1 team in the country, North Carolina.
Well, it's a run out tonight, it's a sellout tonight, and it is a massive win for this program at NC State. A great win for George Kiefer and the boys. Somehow they got it done. The little magician David Loera pulling the strings on his own, and NC State upsets #1 UNC.
You call David Loera the magician, and heartbreak for North Carolina, but the magic is back for NC State as 3,229 see the first win over the Tar Heels in Raleigh since 1997.
Boy, and it couldn't have come at a better time. What a great win for NC State. When it looked like UNC had all the possession in the first half, Dean, it took one defensive mistake there, and NC State capitalized.
So for Matthew Curry and his crew, the beautiful man, John Bouguet, saying so long from Raleigh, North Carolina, where NC State knocks off the #1 team in the country, North Carolina 1-0. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and George Kiefer's Wolfpack knock off North Carolina in front of a record crowd, 1-0.